friends, my Scorpio siblings. I am feeling like doing a reading for you. It's your rusty metal dog. It's been a little while. And yeah, I'm going to pull an overall card. And then I've got 3 decks. They all want to talk to you. We want to find out kind of like your overall normal tarot reading. Then we've got the Dark Tarot, which is just so good for us, Scorpio. So what's your adventure? We'll ask there. And we'll ask the same placements. And then thirdly, we've got the Tarot of Sexual Magic. So we'll ask about your sex life, maybe. We'll get some interesting input there. Let's just see what happens. First, I'm going to pull an overall card from the Forhaxa Tarot. Get you some fairies in your reading, Scorpios. I have so many beloved Scorpios. Ooh, and what do we get? We get your Death card. This is your card, Scorpio. The Fairy of Death. And it's really beautiful. She is petting this ghostly fox amidst these black flowers. They're black roses. And she has this gentleness to her and this moth. Pardon me, I have a owie. And we have the death moth that in this deck is mixed in with the imagery of death with this artist. And then so here we see the sweetness. And death is really about you, Scorpio. That's your card, about your transformative power, your ability to go through the darkness. So this to me is a reading about you being you. Let me look at what's on the bottom of the deck. You are comfortable with darkness. When challenging things happen, you transform. So let's see a little idea of what's going on underneath. I put this deck in order and it is all right side up. So I'm going to just pick a couple cards here from the bottom. I'm going to go this far. Wow. Okay. Just randomly going to stop here with, looks like 5 cards. So, what's this transformation that you're involved in? A little bit about the year that you've been through, a little bit about the year ahead. That's what we're going to think about here at this reading. So, first of all, we have a sense of loneliness, of abandonment, of poverty. This beautiful 5 of Earth, fairy looking into the water, these dead things in the garden, in the winter garden. We can see the wolves lurking out there, the weak winter sun, but the sun nonetheless. And this feels very Scorpio, very much going alone, looking into death. I think you're supposed to, in a 5 of Earth, feel like you're in danger outside alone. But I never get that from these wolves because I love canines. I just always feel like there's this feeling in a 5 of Earth that you're alone and you're abandoned. But if you actually look, there's a pack for you. And the trick is to recognize that this is your pack. These are your kindred spirits. You can be afraid, or you can see that they are the ones you belong with. And I think also of this fox here, another canine character. Then we get a beautiful, classy love offer, the Knight of Cups. Really a heart forth energy. Music, perhaps. These swans, which we always think of as mating for life. And that's why they're here with this Knight of Water, because that knight is the classy love offerer. And that's either you or somebody. Then we see Judgment. It is a card of ascension. That you have finished a journey. And death is very much about this, rising from the ashes, like the mythical phoenix. You fly up out of the remains of what was, and there's a new part of life to go towards now. we see justice. And I took these 2 cards because you actually get justice and the 2 of Cups. So justice and the 2 of Cups are mirroring cards. They're about balance. This is about a new love, soulmate connection. This can be in a larger social justice sense, but I always see a relationship between justice and a 2 of Cups. Justice is just a much more powerful card. Some Libra energy here. This horned goddess, this horned fairy. I've been really encountering her quite a bit in my meditations. This the god of the sun in parts of England, Celtic culture. She's blindfolded. Justice is blind. You can see she has 2 swords, the 2 doors with the 2 different colors. There's something here about a gender balance as well. Balancing energies. So yeah, when we have judgment followed by justice, and then the sweet little hot tub story here with the mirrored. These 2 are equal to one another. They mirror one another, and that can be an ideal of love, of a balanced love. So we have a little bit of a love story here, where we have you all alone in the woods, the wolves pacing around, the red wolves. The sun here feels weak. In the tarot, the sun is the most powerful representation of happiness and of authenticity. So that feels really important because we do get your card. So this is about you being you here. And your element is water. So this Knight of Water could be you. Judgment is another one of your Scorpio cards. And then we get this. I think what's happened here is that you've been this one that gives your heart all alone. And now, as you ascend to the next level, we're going to see balance and reciprocity becoming much more a part of your story. So this is a pretty transformative birthday message for you, Scorpio, that if you've been feeling like one of a kind, this lonely Knight of Water singing to, a different species altogether, right? So we just have this kind of opportunity to recognize ourselves across species, and instead of feel unique, to see that we are that we can actually find our equals and find balance and reciprocal relationships. And you, Scorpio, you don't fall easily, but when you do, you fall hard, and you give it all. You give it all. I do, and it's really hard to be done when you need to be done. But we do kind of see you rising from that old way of doing things into this more balanced and just story. Even the colors are different here. So you're gonna feel less like a species unto themselves and more a part of, reciprocal, balanced. Like even the way that I mentioned that gender balance coming in, and the horned fairy, goddess of the sun, very much about healing something that has been painful for you. Okay, well, let's pull. My reading is 4 cards. We're going to go ahead and ask what to release here in this birthday year for Scorpios, what to embrace, what's hidden from you that the tarot wants you to know, and a peek at the future. And we'll start here with this beautiful, sweet deck, the Star Seeker Tarot. We'll just see what they tell us. If I have to clarify, I will. I'm guessing I won't, but we'll see. What do I know? The tarot knows. All right, I'm going to cut this deck. I've shuffled everything a lot. The 4 of Swords just came out. That's a little bit more of a mention of healing, which it kind of shied away from like going too much into that image of Sulis, the horned goddess of the sun, but she's a part of some ancient pagan relationship to waters at Bath in England. So hence the healing. People go there to heal. Okay. Let's see what you want to release. A 10 of Pentacles. What does this look like to you? This looks like a sweet little lesbian family with a kid, right? Little queer family. But the 10 of Pentacles is about abundance. It's about security. It's about being really rich. And it's also about earth. So that's a very practical ideal here, or something that you've already achieved. And so when we get this card of release, what we're asking is like, what have you accomplished already, or what are you maybe holding on to? And we Scorpios can be a bit obsessive, so if you're obsessing about this in some way, the suggestion here might be to, my dog always wants to have a drink of water when I'm on camera. Good boy, Ganny. So if you're obsessing, release the obsession. If you've accomplished something, what's next? What should we fill this space in your life with next? Wow, the womb, a rest time. Yeah, it looks like you're going in. This deck is the only deck I know of or have that has this card, the womb, and it comes after justice, after the world comes after, not justice, judgment. So we have judgment, and then after that we have the world, which is the ending and a beginning. And this deck says, okay, you finished something, now rest. So you're perhaps going swimming, you'd have to go somewhere tropical. Our birthday happens in the fall here. So yeah, it suggests that you rest. And the Four of Swords showed up a little bit earlier. We're thinking about you taking some time to rest and heal. Okay, what's hidden from you, the tarot wants you to know, is a new beginning, a real practical new beginning, an Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so that's why you want to rest. Something new is going to begin. It's like when you get to a 10, you've finished something, right? So you got here. Now it's time to start new. It looks like with an Ace of Pentacles. The future is 2 cards, it looks like. Another ace, an Ace of Swords, a truth. There's some kind of new enlightenment that is coming in the future, new truth. And then with that, we got an extra card, a 6 of Swords. This is your energy of change, paradigm shift here. So the 6 of Swords is about moving from one frame of mind to another. And you do it with, usually there's more than one person in a 6 of Swords, and we can see them moving towards this doorway here. Oh, now he's going to have some food. Good boy, Gan. Underlying energy on this. The Emperor and the 9 of Cups. Okay, and this deck luckily is not all right side up, so we just get the 2 cards. So the Emperor, very much a leader of your own life. It's an Aries energy. You can see I'm called again to notice the sun, because we had this 5 of Earth sun here. The sun is brighter. This is a fire sign, Aries, the Emperor. It's a card that makes me think about being the leader of your own life. It's also very much about structural power, but he's such a gentle, sweet Emperor. And then we see this 9 of Cups. This is you in wish fulfillment. It's a beautiful, there's some kind of swimming hole thing. It's easy in this deck to be swimming because it has a lot of these kind of beach imagery. But this 9 of Cups, but here's another hot tub scene, right? So there's something about getting in the hot tub and relaxing or taking a bath. and just being quiet and peaceful. And I even kind of see the Emperor here, who has been like achieving this and just sort of just relaxing here. So there's something about how you've been driving yourself, and now it's time to rest here. There is something new coming in. There's a truth that's coming in. I feel like that is going to shift the way you see your life, the way you see your path, because it comes in like this. You get this truth, and then it leads you into a paradigm shift. If you're at all disturbed, the Six of Swords is taking you from a dark, disturbing, troubled place into a place of peace. So this is very much about something that you've been striving for. There's a new beginning coming. It looks very reciprocal because we have Justice and the Two of Cups, but you're definitely moving on from what you've been doing here. Okay, so let's add the Dark Tarot to the mix and see what this adds to your story, Scorpio. You get lots of cartoonish or comic book characters, breasty women with swords, basically what this deck is. It's a pretty cool deck. Let's see what happens. So we're going to pull the same 4 questions. What should you release? What should you embrace? And what is hidden and what is coming in? Okay, number 1, what you are releasing. The Lovers. Yeah, there's that same feeling here of the Lovers, a much more cute image. This one is, it's the Dark Tarot, right? So we have the Lovers is about a choice, but because it comes in with the Ten of Pentacles, it's also about this kind of really intense love that is a match of mind, body, heart, spirit. It's pretty consuming. There's a kind of twin flame lore out there in tarot world that talks about this can be a very challenging and exhausting kind of love. And we can definitely see in the Dark Tarot the involvement of the woman. She's a bit kind of caught up in this relationship. It's quite consuming. Also, this yucky guy has his hands all over her, or this kind of demon. And I've come to understand, like, demonology historically, in order to compete with other religious systems, Christians called other pagan gods demons. And I think because we had Sulis come up here, the horned goddess, the horned fairy, and also the snake imagery, kind of Garden of Eden reference if you've been raised in Christendom, but it's also very much about transformation and lots more positive and powerful energy in other cosmologies. So the devil, the horned god or goddess, here is coming up in your reading. The Lovers is very reciprocal. It's very much a match, but it appears here as quite consuming. You almost appear in the image as like dissociated. You're so connected to this person. So that's your release. So if you have that, it's set. You got your Ten of Pentacles with the Lovers, like that. It's not going away. It just means, okay, it's time to focus on something else. So we see you in the womb, and this is your embrace, like a lovely rest. And with that, we get the High Priestess, very powerful, intuitive, empathic energy. This connection to raw spiritual energy out there. Another solitary figure. She's surrounded by these bats, which are positive representations in this deck of the mind, of the way that bats can fly. It's not intuitive, they use radar, but there's so many interesting studies about how bats actually work together so that a bat will go out and get food and then come home, and then the other bat will go out and we'll be able to find the exact same place, as if they kind of telepathically communicate. And so that's a lot of the energy of the High Priestess. So we can see you really, really powerfully preparing to go into the next part of your journey. If I think about the womb, there's some people talk about remembering things in hypnosis. It's always appealed to me, remembering before you were born into the next world, and that when you're born, you remember who you were and you remember your value and your power. And so that's a lot of this energy that I'm getting here about embracing that and like resting in your power. What's hidden from you that the tarot wants you to know is we're going to see a new beginning, very earthy and practical in the real world. What else can we find out about this? The Three of Wands. This is something that you have been waiting for, and it's coming. You manifested this, and you're waiting for it in a Three of Wands. She doesn't look very, she's like ready for it to come. She's like almost tilting forward here. So there's a little bit of a waiting energy. In the tarot, this is hidden from you because you must have wished for something and it's coming, but it's wise actually when you make a wish to forget about it and to not be impatient. But it's coming, it feels imminent here. And that's why you're resting to prepare for whatever's coming. So the future is the Sun, the happiest card in the tarot, card of authenticity. You're happy because you know who you are, you're comfortable in your skin. You can fly, she's got cool wings. So that's a part of why this is the overarching card here, Scorpio. Yeah, so you're in some kind of a transformative phase here. You finished something. You got somewhere. You're like the emperor. You've reached, the ultimate status. And now it's time to relax in what you've accomplished. But the reason you need to rest is there's something coming in. So we get these swords, the Ace of Swords and the Six of Swords with the Sun. I've been getting this all year in readings that in some way we have to revise our sense of the Sun, of our ideal of happiness. That's here as well. And this card also is about wish fulfillment. Because we can see that in the past with the Five of Earth and the Knight of Water, you've been striving for something and bringing your heart into it, but you ended up feeling alone and different, unique. A woman among wolves, or a woman among swans, or a fairy. They're all kind of female-looking figures in this fairy deck. Let's look on the bottom of the deck here. We get an Ace of Wands. I saw that on the other deck. So a passionate new beginning, very creative. You are beginning something. And we have two more cards. We get a King of Pentacles. So they're like Mr. Safety Net. And a Ten of Wands. So this is about putting down a burden. It's funny, you're getting tens, like the Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Here you have the Ten of Wands and the Ace of Wands, but they came in reverse. There's a new passion. And then there's something that you've been devoted to that has been exhausting. And you've accomplished it. That's what the tens are about. So whatever that is, you're done. Okay? All right, well, let's see what happens if we apply the Tarot of Sexual Magic to this reading. Why not? It's really a simple story with like, so I have this little friend. She's not a Scorpio, she's a Virgo. She listens to my readings and she says, well, I just sort of fall asleep or I get bored. I get lost. So like, that's my communication, right? Like many people like the readings and don't get lost, but the trick to listening is there's an overarching storyline. I'll be quite repetitive about that. It kind of it fills in as I pull more cards. But then there's a lot of details in the cards that you can see. Maybe I don't even notice it. And if it clicks for you, grab hold of that and add that to your story. If I say something, if I see a detail, or if I tell you this is what the meaning of the card is, and it makes you think of some part of your life, then do that. But don't try to get like, this person is not dumb. She's highly intelligent. So she's expecting herself to integrate all of the information. And you don't have to do that. Just let it flow over you, and take what resonates. And you'll develop a story in your own mind that is about your life. Like as a Scorpio, I totally relate to this narrative of being, one of a kind, and bringing my love to people who are of a different species to me. And I love the story of kind of moving away from that towards justice and the Two of Water, more balanced reciprocal relationships. This is something that I'm working on. And I don't mean just romantically. I mean in all of my relationships, to see how I am like people instead of different. That I'm among people like me instead of alone. And I feel like this is talking about that again and again and again. What we've added is that it's time to rest. You're waiting for something, and while you wait for this new thing to come in, rest and recover. And it does bring in the sun, which is wish fulfillment. I just have this feeling, because that's under these swords, that there is a transformation of what that is for you. Like what it means for you when you, like 10 years ago, when you imagined being happy, it looked one way, but this happiness is going to look new. And it allows you to kind of put down some kind of burden. I mean, so again, so applying this to my story, these kings in this deck are always I'm gay, right? So this is a burden, this ideal of a partnership. If you're straight, this might look really sexy to you. It doesn't look sexy to me. It feels like this ideal, this security-based love. To me, the price is too high. I see this warrior who is going off free, liberated from some kind of ideal. It doesn't have to be like coming out or something like that, but to me, there is an unburdening from some kind of story here that you have about yourself that leaves you feeling alone, leaves you feeling exploited. Yeah, it leaves you feeling exploited. And that story about you, that's your problem. That's what you want to put down. And when you do that, then you get free. And you're able to see what's coming in for you. Right? There's these different sort of images of kind of being lost, dissociated. And these are positive cards, the King of Pentacles and the Lovers. It's just in this dark tarot, they're dark. So they emphasize the dark side. And there's a lot of reasons why I quit reading tarot for a while. And I don't want to do it to people please. I find the cards are beautiful. The stories are fascinating. I feel connected. Everything I've learned in my life is relevant. And the cards and I have a relationship, and you and I have a relationship, whoever you are, whether I know you or not. So, yeah. I'm your reader or I'm not. Okay, we're going to look at your sexual tarot now. So, what you should release. Temperance, all of the waiting for the perfect formula. So, okay, that's what the Ten of Pentacles, this Lover's card, and Temperance, and I think also this King of Pentacles with that Emperor energy. Like you've been waiting for the perfect formula, the perfect person, the perfect relationship, job. So if that's what you've been doing, quit it, okay? Quit waiting and just rest and trust your intuition. So this is your embrace. You want to embrace the High Priestess twice. Wow, Scorpio. Embrace your intuition. Embrace your spiritual path, like your spiritual knowing. You're powerful and you have access to, it's such a different image. It's so cute, right? This High Priestess, she's playing with her cat with her feet. It's the same card. High Priestess is one of my favorite cards. You know, it's the card of the tarot reader, the diviner, or one of them. She's looking in a book. She's playing with a cat with her foot. She's surrounded by pomegranates, I think, or peaches. She's got keys in her hand. I thought they were scissors at first. She's got some keys. She's got the book. So the book would represent knowledge, knowing. The key also having access to it. She's kind of an empressy High Priestess. I like that too. The Empress represents sovereignty. It represents earth, abundance. So very, very powerful, Scorpio. This is you. You're intuitive and powerful in the womb. So remember I talked about the womb, like, I don't know if I finished that. Like, people hypnotized. I did talk about it, but there was one particular story that struck me, and she remembered in hypnosis being at a kind of bus station with all these other souls, the souls of the people that she loved, that loved her, that had known her for eons, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And they were sitting in this bus stop and they were looking down at her parents, young couple, her pregnant mother, having some kind of a picnic. And the theory is that we choose, some theorize that we choose our parents and we choose our life. And so we can know in advance that it's going to be easy or hard or, challenging. And this person, when I met her, was in a wheelchair and had had an incredibly hard life with a lot of trauma. And in hypnosis, she remembered sitting with these friends in this bus stop, looking at her parents, and her friends were saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure? It's going to be a really hard life." And obviously, she said yes. So there is this sort of reference, not to that, but to that bus stop, that knowing that in the womb you knew what it was going to be like. And there's something to remember and to trust in your intuitive knowing, so that's what I get here. It's very, very powerful. I love how this is like nothing at all about your sex life. All right, Tarot wants you to know. Okay, well, here's a little bit of your sex life. So we've got a Knave of Swords, or a Page of Swords. Very open-minded energy here. What are they doing? What is this about? It's always worth looking in the book here. It looks like he's about to kiss her ass. Okay, sorry. I'm looking at the card and I'm not looking in the book. All right. Knave of Swords. What is this about? The deck here. Okay, Knave of Swords. The magic of bitter almonds. Enemies of the couple are, it's called biting. Oh yeah, he is about to bite her butt. So it says here, the magic of bitter almonds, biting. Enemies of the couple are both inside and outside of it. They should look at each other. Vigilance does not distract from pleasure, and pleasure does not distract from vigilance. So we see her looking away from him, and he's looking at her ass instead of at her face. Right, well, it's a beautiful ass, right? And she's probably looking forward to pleasure. But what this is telling you is, what the tarot wants you to know is to look at each other. And that if you're in some kind of a relationship here, if you're not looking into one another, this could threaten your relationship. So there's something, so we get this Ace of Pentacles, and then we've got the Three of Wands, and now we have this Knave of Swords. So I like this use of the Knave of Swords, or the Page of Swords, which is like about young, chatty, open-minded energy. And so the open-mindedness here is really to engage with each other, right? Like this Two of Cups. So this balance, looking at each other here as it's a warning to do that. And that actually, if you do that, if you look into your person, then it will benefit you. Totally see how these all go together. Like there's a new beginning and we see you waiting for it. It's real physical, practical. Yeah, we'll keep looking here. I might have to clarify that card. Okay, so the future is the King of Cups. Another one of your cards. King of Cups, that's a Scorpio card. King of Cups is emotionally deep and also a quiet person. Private, that's your secrecy, Scorpio. So there's very much something about you being you, right? The Sun, authenticity, and the way that you get there is by letting go of some kind of burdensome ideal, the Lovers, and you've been waiting for this Ten of Pentacles, Lovers. So Temperance says quit waiting for that. Now you want to trust what you know, you're intuitively. What you can't see is that there is something coming in. It's something you manifested. And the way that you see it is by looking into your person, not into pleasure. So if you're, and this is related to a story that you have, I think you actually need to be seen. And you need to ask for that. Like if you're in a relationship, and there's many kinds of relationships, right? Could be romantic, could be work, could be friendship, somewhere in your life to, so if you get sexualized in your relationships, and it's easy for Scorpios to do that because our sign is known for our sexual power, our intensity, and that there's like, we're not afraid, we're the dark, what's the dark? It's night. It's not a scary place, right? This is our card. We're all about transformation, edges, and I relate to this, giving myself sexually when I want love. So if you do that, it's not bad to want sex, but you want love, that's what this Knave of Swords is really pointing to. There's a new beginning. It's something that you manifested. And if you want it to turn out differently with this Two of Cups, balance of justice, then you need to be truthful about who you are to yourself and your worth and who you really are, the Sun and this King of Cups, right? Because we've got all your big powerful cards, Judgment, Death, King of Cups, here on the table. It looks like coming in this next stage is a balanced kind of reciprocal relationship where you are recognized for who you are and you're mirrored back to yourself by an equal. And there is some advice here that makes sure you look at each other instead of just going to bed together. So make sure you're seen and that you see before you put out, whatever that means. It doesn't have to be, just obviously a romantic relationship. But it looks like you've felt lonely and taken for granted in your relationships in the past. So underlying this is, yes, beautiful. Yeah, the Slowpoke Knight, the Knight of Pentacles. He is the sweet, steady, true blue Slowpoke. Yeah. And so to see the difference between these here, right? So this Knight of Pentacles, the Slowpoke Knight, he's the A student, the guy with the plan, takes his time. And this is the burden. It's like hypersexualization of you, Scorpio, where you get objectified. And again, it doesn't have to be romantically or sexually, but people exploit your beauty and your power, and you feel like this when that happens. Really sad, like you planted all these plants in your garden and now they're frostbitten, and you're mourning all the labor of love. When you feel alone and you don't recognize yourself being like these other people, and it's just such a beautiful energy. But here you are again, alone, playing to these swans, different species. So part of that's your job, to look again, right? Look into their face, see how they're like you. Be the Slowpoke Knight, seek the Slowpoke Knight. The person that is the Knight of Pentacles is a great match for the Knight of Cups or the Knight of Water, because you're both good-hearted. It's a legitimate, true offer, right? And we know there's this real offer. It's a pentacle that this Knight of Pentacles brings to you, and you manifested it, right? There's your Three of Wands. You manifested that. You asked for this, but when it comes, make sure and look it in the face instead of biting it on the ass or letting it bite you on the ass. And that's like a real, don't let it bite you on the ass, right? You're going to repeat your pattern unless you assert your truth. And then the future looks really freaking gorgeous, because when I say, right, here's your future. Here's the truth. This is your truth of who you are, and this is what you want people to want, not your body. Your body's great. That'll be fun too. But you need a new story about yourself to be happy. We see you getting that. We see the Sun, happiest card in the tarot, authenticity, you being you. And then again, you being you. And all of this under Death, your very own card, right? So it's a pretty cool reading, Scorpio. I don't have to clarify anything at this point. It makes sense to me. And I like that you can trust yourself, trust your intuition, this High Priestess womb energy. That's what you're to embrace. Embrace your intuitive spiritual depth, and rest in that, because it's really something really good looking when it comes. When it comes, look it in the face, look them in the face. Demand that you be seen that way too. You're not just a gorgeous, sexy person, although you are that too. There's a lot more to you than that. And so we see justice and the Two of Cups here, an ascension, judgment towards something that I think you've been wanting and lacking. Okay, whatever area of your life this is, it could be any area. Don't let yourself be objectified. Okay, happy birthday, Scorpio.